Yes.
Well, there's a chance on Friday that parts of Oklahoma could see snow for the second time this week.
Chief Meteorologist David Payne is walking us through what to expect this season in his winter forecast.
All right, Oklahoma, here we go. It's that time of year talking about my winter forecast. We've had snow this week, talking about Monday. Had some nice snow across western Oklahoma. Before we get to that, let's talk about our new weather set right here at News 9. The largest weather set in the nation. Folks, it's right here, and it is simply amazing. It is state-of-the-art. There's nothing like it anywhere around, I promise you. This is our storm tracking weather pod. All of our storm trackers, when they're in the field, you're going to see their shots coming in, or their video coming in here live. And this is how we communicate between us, really, and the storm trackers, right? Whether we're telling them to make a left, to go right, to take a look at this storm. This is the brain of storm tracking. This is how it's done. This is where it's done. You're often going to see Justin Rudisill in here doing that, right? During our crazy, crazy weather that we have. And then the big weather pod, it's a big one. This has everything in it. All of our storm tracking feeds, all of our many, many computers, NextGen Live, our 1,000,000-watt dual pole radar. That is controlled by this weather pod. You're often going to see Cassie and Lacey in here during severe weather, but you'll see a lot of this coming up, I promise you. This has everything in it. And then our new and our last weather pod, we're talking about our digital weather pod. This is how we communicate between, well, us and you at home, okay? So whether it's on the News 9 weather app or the News 9 app, or whether it's on Roku TV, whatever it is, that's going to come out of this weather pod when we're sending out severe weather, all right? Any severe weather information. And often from this weather pod, it's going to be Andrew Adams doing that. So 3 incredible weather pods to keep you and your family safe coming up this winter, and also coming up, obviously, in spring. So there's a lot going on. Okay, let's get back to it. Talking about my winter forecast. Here we go. We've been working on it. Yeah, Oklahoma, you know what? We have been spending a lot of time looking at weather data from all over the globe, and really takes a lot to put all this together. It's a big puzzle, right? And it all comes together eventually. We've already had some snow. It's already been kind of an active, at least late fall, early winter setting across Oklahoma. Western Oklahoma this week had all the snow. The bottom line is, yeah, we're talking about more winter weather coming up for sure. Now, last year, we had 11 inches of snow, okay? We average about 6.7 here in Oklahoma City. And remember, or let's try to forget, 2020 and 2021, yeah, 2 years ago, over nearly 23 inches of snow in Oklahoma City. Some places a lot more than that. For the third time since 1950, we're going to have 3 La Niñas back to back to back, right? It's only happened, this will be the third time this has happened since 1950, and that's when really the records really go into effect, when we really count all of that. So something, again, unique, something unusual, yes, that will be happening this year. So the keys to the forecast are La Niña continues right through winter. Snow cover increases from the northern U.S. across Canada, into the Arctic Circle, even into Russia. We've already got snow and ice up there already ahead of schedule. But the drought remains in control. We're going to try to put a dent in that. A weaker polar vortex. More on that coming up. 3 things on this map to really hone in on. Above average water temperatures in the Atlantic, also in the Pacific. And look at this big blue blob down here. Below average water temperatures. That's the La Niña for the 3rd winter in a row underway. All right, so snow and ice cover right now. Lots of snow, folks, in the northern states, across Canada. Above average ice, right? Once you get up into the Arctic Circle going on, and that will also play a role in our cold weather that I do believe is coming. All right, so the latest drought situation, man, many of us under the drought, we need to really put a dent in this. We're going to try as we get into the winter months. Okay, so the pattern for this winter is that the polar jet stream is going to be coming out of, again, the polar areas in western Canada down into the U.S. because this polar vortex, or this area of low pressure, is going to be weaker. And when it's weaker, it just sags south. When it's stronger, it stays up top. But I think it's a weaker polar vortex, and it's going to be bringing that cold air south. Temperatures overall above average, really cold in the Great Lakes. We're going to have cold air off and on, but we're not going to be a winter that we're just locked in with cold air. So below average temperatures in northeastern Oklahoma, kind of average elsewhere. But again, we will have rounds and bouts of Arctic air. Above average precip to our north and to our east. I think it's really wet here, but above average across northern and eastern Oklahoma, average for most of us. And as far as snowfall, putting all that together, Right now, above average in the blue for snowfall, central, northern, and eastern Oklahoma. Average elsewhere. So like the last 2 winters, I think it's overall a pretty good winter. So your temperatures average to slightly below average, especially in the north. Precipitation above average in the north and east. Snowfall overall a little bit above average. Arctic air off and on, but some big swings, big ups, big downs, and an early start, but an even stronger finish. I think January and February are pretty good months. So overall, on a scale of 1 to 9, from Katie bar the door at 9 to no big deal, I think it's a pretty good winter. I think right now, looking at everything, we'll put this winter at a number 6. We're talking about many, many snowball fights.